everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back with another beauty video, and this time I'm going to be doing an Indian wedding guest makeup tutorial. Yeah, I know it sounds funny, Indian wedding guest tutorial, but that's what we are, guests at most of the weddings unless it's your own. So yeah, as long as you're not a bride and you're attending a wedding of your friend, your family or anyone, this is something you can do, and I would like to give you an in-depth tutorial on how to achieve this look because I feel like this is something very universal. You can just change up the colors of the eyes and the lips and just, use the same look with different Indian outfits. So if you guys want to achieve this look and look like $1,000,000 on the next wedding that you're attending, because the wedding season is upon us, right? Then continue watching. Okay guys, so we're going to be starting with moisturizing the skin. Of course, you need to have hydrated skin, and skin prep is very important, specifically when you're going to a wedding because you're going to be there for hours and hours, so you need hydration. I'm going to be using the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Oil Free Gel Cream. This is really good for oily, acne prone skin. I'm just going to take this. It's very light, this moisturizer, very gel based, and feels like water on the skin but still gives you that hydration. I'm taking quite a bit. After moisturizing, the second most important skin prep step is to get a nice primer onto your face. I'm using the Colorbar Perfect Match Primer. This is, so I'm mainly applying it on the nose and forehead area. I don't want to go over the pimple with this because I just don't want to apply too much product. So after I'm done with priming my skin, there is an extra step that I would do only if I'm going to a wedding because you need that extra glow. So I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Master Strobing Stick. It's basically an illuminator or a strobing product. What it does is that you apply it below your foundation so that once you apply the base, the high points of your face, which you would usually highlight, they pop even more. So it just is a little bit of an extra step that you can totally skip if you don't have it, but since I do have it, I'm just going to apply it on all the points where I would normally apply my highlighter. I'm just going to simply blend it out with my fingers. No fancy schmancy steps here. Now comes the most important step when it comes to weddings, that is the base. Your base needs to be flawless and it really needs to last long. So I would suggest go for the base or foundation that is your go-to or that you know is going to work well for you. It's not the time to experiment. So I'm going to go in with my MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. This is in the shade NC30, which is slightly darker to me, and I'm going to mix that with my Fenty Beauty Foundation, the Pro Filter foundation in the shade 170, which is slightly lighter to me. So it's perfect that I mix these two and apply it on my face. They have complete full coverage, matte, and last all night, so it's just perfect. So I'm gonna take a pump of my Fenty, maybe 1.5 pump of the Fenty, and the MAC doesn't have a pump, so I'm just going to use the bottle and take slightly lesser amount than what I took for Fenty. That's how much I got on my palms, and I'm gonna just mix it all up on my palms. I love using beauty blenders to blend out the foundation because I think it's the best technique to get like a flawless base. So guys, I'm done with the base and it's already looking really good. But I'm also going to go in with concealer. Usually on a regular day, I might just skip concealer because I don't think I need much. But then because it's a wedding and because you're going to be out and about, dancing, eating, meeting people. So yeah, you need high coverage. So I'm going to be using my LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is one of my go-to concealers, guys. It's a liquid concealer. It's a very good consistency. Doesn't feel too heavy on the face because you don't want your face feeling cakey and heavy. So I'm going to apply directly from the tube. I'm going to use it on my under eyes. Going to conceal that bad pimple I got just today morning and just do it on the middle of the nose. Alright guys, now very important, especially when you're doing a wedding guest makeup look, is to set your face. Like, Of course, if you have dry skin, you might just want to set your T-zone and your under eyes. That's very important, because otherwise your base, your concealer, they're all going to keep moving throughout the night and it's going to be a big mess. So it's very important to set. But if you're oily skin like me, then you have to set your entire face, and you can also bake under your eyes or on your T-zone. So I'm going to be using the PAC HT translucent powder. I have been using this for a while now and it's really nice. It's very light, doesn't feel heavy on the skin at all, which is exactly what I want. So I'm directly dipping my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Take any fluffy brush, but the bristles should be a little more thick so that the powder can retain. And then just simply set all the areas where you concealed first. And then, this is completely optional, but I do it because I have oily skin. I like to set my entire face because I don't want my makeup to get oily, sweaty, sticky, and then just, sort of rub off on other people if I hug them or if I meet them, or even if I just, rub my fingers across my face. And done. And now I'm going to use my YSL. Yeah, I know, fancy schmancy. I invested in this lip balm because I saw it on a friend and it looked fab, and I was just like, I need to get this no matter how much it costs. So I'm going to use my YSL lip balm. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the shade. I'm sorry guys. I'll probably link it down below once I find it. And I'm just going to apply it on my lips to moisturize them, and it has a slight pink tinge which looks superb. Next up, it's time for eyebrows. Well, eyebrows define your entire face, so you need to get them right. My eyebrows are microbladed, so I don't need to do much, but then I'm just going to go in with this K-Beauty eyebrow pencil. It's in the shade Chestnut. I really like this product, and some of K-Beauty's products are really, really good, including this one. And I'm just going to lightly fill in my brows. It's important to brush your brows out because otherwise the product gets clamped within your brow hairs and it looks really, really disgusting. And yeah, that's it. It has defined my entire face, which looks amazing. And let's move on to the most important part of the wedding makeup tutorial, which is the eyes. The eyes need to be the highlight of the wedding look because, of course, everyone's wearing shiny outfits and bold makeup, so your eyes need to stand out. So I'm going to be doing a very nice golden smoky eye, which is of course the typical, but I'm going to give it a little bit of a twist. I'm going to use peachy, chocolatey, brown tones along with like a lot of shimmer. So for the main eyeshadow base, I'm going to be using my Nykaa Just Wink It palette. So I'm going to use this shade right here. This is like a really nice brown for the crease, which is to define the brow bone. I'm going to do one eye in front of you and the one eye off camera. So let's go for it. So yeah, I'm going to be nicely defining the crease, and I'm going to create like a winged sort of a shape for the outer edge so that everything falls into place. And once I'm done with defining the crease, I'm just going to push it a little inwards and a little upwards so that it looks blended. I'm not using a separate blending brush because this is pretty even. Yeah, but just blending out the harsh lines. I'm then going to take this slightly lighter shade, actually way lighter shade. This is like a peachy brown, and I'm just going to lightly coat the upper edge with that so that there is some sort of a transition happening. Next up, I'm going to take this black tone here and I'm just going to tap the excess. And I'm going to define the outer corner of my eye with the black. Just look at how pigmented this eyeshadow palette is. Like one tap and you have the entire product here. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to define the crease a little lower this time though with the black. So I'm just going to drag it onwards and inwards. And I'm just going to drag it to the outer edge of the eye and just align it with the outer cat eye that we did, like not a cat eye but like the shape that we're giving the eyeshadow. So I'm just going to give that cat eye shape, and I'm just going to also drag this towards the lower lash line so that it all fits in together. And then I'm just going to use the previous brush that I used to blend out the harsh lines of the black. So I'm just going to use this. I'm not having any product on this right now. Just blending it out so that everything looks well put together. So once you're done with your crease and your outer edges of the eye and it all looks blended and seamless, comes the main part of this eyeshadow look, which is going to completely transform it. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define this inner part using a concealer or a foundation, and then I'm going to set it with powder, and then I'm going to apply the shimmery shade so that the shimmery shade looks very intense and pops. So that's the trick that I personally love to do this kind of an eye look. Just take like a very thin pointy brush, which is not very fluffy, because you need the concealer to be very defined, and the foundation, or you can use concealer, whatever you may like. And then with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a cut crease. This is called a cut crease, and I'm going to push that inwards. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the beauty blender and I'm going to take my loose powder on the tip of the beauty blender. So I'm going to quickly set the foundation. So while this dries, what you can do is now go in again with the brown that you used for the first time. That's the one that you're going to use the max. And on the same brush that you used to define the crease. And whatever lines you can see that are looking harsh, just sort of go over them a little so that everything looks blended out and even. For the shimmer part, I'm going to switch up my palette because I really like this one particular shade in this MAC Fashion Fanatic palette. I'll leave the details of the palette below. So I'm just going to rub my finger across with this product, and I'm going to get enough to blind the entire party. And then I'm just going to apply it on the spots that I applied the concealer at. Okay guys, so honestly, I'm not very happy with the way this is looking. It's looking a little too pale, specifically because we went in with the concealer. So I'm going to add a little bit of the golden, which I initially didn't want to, because I feel like it's going to add some warmth to the glitter effect that we are looking at. So I'm just going to take my Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter palette that I'm also going to be using for my face, and I'm just going to do the same thing exactly again. Alright guys, so I just want like an extra pop of glitter. I know I'm being really greedy when it comes to glitter, but then that's the way to go about Indian weddings. The blingier, the better. So what I'm going to do in the end to finish the glitter part is to add this Kiss Beauty Glistening Color Eyelash Gloss Liquid Perfect Eyeliner. I don't know where I picked this up from, and I don't even know if Kiss Beauty is a legit brand, but you can use any glitter, liquid glitter or powder glitter, to just lightly dab it across the part that you concealed. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to very lightly go over the glitter parts to give it that extra pop that will look so stunning. And to just bind the entire look together, we will go over one last time, I promise, one last time with a different color from this palette. Now we're going to be using something a little more on the red side. This is sort of a brownish rust red, and we're just going to take this, tap the excess off, and we're just going to run over this as a final touch also towards the inner corner of the eye. Okay, so for eyeliner and kajal, I'm going to be using the K Beauty Kohl Stick. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but I got this in PR and I really like the formula. It's really smooth and long lasting. So I'm just going to line my waterline using the Kohl Stick. I'm also going to tight line my eye because I don't want eyeliner to sort of take away from the eyeshadow effect that we've created. So I'm going to tight line. It might look very creepy, but then this really makes a difference to your eyes. I'm also going to use the smudging part of the K Beauty Kajal pencil, which is really cool because it comes really handy. And I'm just going to lightly smudge out the kajal that we applied. So just to finish the complete eye look, I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara for those long lashes. But because it's an Indian wedding look and everything Indian wedding is everything extra, we are obviously going to go in with some false eyelashes. But I'm just going to give my lashes a decent coating of mascara, not too much because falsies are going to go on top. And of course, the lower lash, don't forget that. So guys, my eyes are done and I absolutely love how they've turned out. Like, it's looking so good. I'm so proud of myself and I hope you guys like it too. Okay guys, so now we're done with the eyes, which is probably the most important part of this makeup, and it took me honestly hours to just get those lashes on. Now moving on to bronzing the face. I'm not doing too much of cream contouring because of course it's a wedding. You don't want too much going on your face. So that's why I'm just going to use my Hoola by Benefit bronzer. This is one of the best bronzers in the market ever. It's worth the investment if you want to buy a really good one. And I'm just going to take this fluffy brush, which is not very thick, and I'm just going to dip that into the bronzer. That's how it looks. Just tap the excess, and then I'm just going to define my nose because you gotta make your nose sharp AF, girls. So I'm just going to take that onto this angular brush and I'm just going to place that angle on the hollow of my cheek, so you can just, like, do that. Do you see that cut that instantly defines your face and makes it look so sharp? So I love that definition, but I don't want to overdo it, so I'm just going to blend it out a little like so. And I'm just going to drag that into a C shape. So I'm going to take a little bit more here and then I'm going to draw a C shape here as well, so that it all looks like it's a part of the same look and not like separate lines which look ugly AF. For blush, I'm going to be using my Colorbar Matteilusion blush in the shade 002, which is Wheeled Merlot. Sounds very fancy. This is probably the most perfect peachy pink tone blush that I have. It's not very pink, which is what I love because I always reach out for a pink blush. But then with this look, pink blush is like no, because the outfit is peach, the eye makeup is going in the golden brown side. So, you want to keep that tone similar because if you don't, then your makeup is not going to look well put together. So let's stop talking. I'm going to take my fluffy blush brush by Real Techniques. Almost all my makeup brushes are by Real Techniques. I love their brushes. And I'm going to apply a decent generous amount because blush in terms of makeup is the first thing that sort of your skin eats. So basically, if you go to the wedding after 1.5 2 hours, the first thing that you will see disappear is your blush. So it's always better to apply a little more. So I'm just going to smile and apply it on the apples of the cheek. And I also like to go over my blush all across the face because I feel like it just gives some color to your skin, otherwise you end up looking very pale, which honestly looks pretty bad on camera and in real life as well. So I'm just going to like warm up my face with this really natural looking blush. Like, it's just really not extra and just goes perfectly with the look that I'm going for today. And now it's time for the lipstick. For lips, I decided to go with something a little on the nudish peachish pink side because of course the eyes are taking away the cake when it comes to this look. So I don't want the lips to like overpower the eyes. So I'm going to go in with this really pretty nude color called Fraternity by K-Beauty. I'm loving their matte lip colors. They're really matte. So if you have dry chapped lips, do apply some amount of lip balm before you go in with this lipstick because it's really matte. So I'm probably going to apply the lip balm later. So I'm just going to directly go in with this color on my lips. I'm sorry guys, it's actually not a nude. It's actually a peachy pink tone. Yeah, it's not really a nude. So I take my words back. So after I'm done with my matte lip color, which looks amazing by the way, I still want that pop, that glow. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add on the L'Oreal Paris Dazzle Lip Gloss. This is just like a very nice translucent gold tone lip gloss. So I'm just going to use that on the middle part of my lips. Not too much, because you don't want it to go like too extra. And just on the cupid's bow area. Now, coming to one of the most important and most essential steps when it comes to weddings is to kill everyone and blind them. Literally, like, you have to blind them with your highlighter, because that's what changes the game. That's what makes the wedding look really look like a wedding look. So yeah, I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. It's the metallic highlighter illuminator in the shade Molten Gold 100, which is probably the perfect gold highlighter, and it's drugstore, not very expensive, affordable. I think you guys should get a hold of this. It's like just perfect for weddings. I'm going to use my Real Techniques setting brush. This is actually the setting brush which I use for highlighting, because I think it's just the perfect size. And I'm going to take oodles of highlighter, because you can never have enough glow, can you? And then I'm going to run it over my cheekbones. Look at that glow. I'm going to take it all across, and I'm going to drag it onwards and upwards towards my brow bone, because that's the part we left when we were doing the eyes. In case you guys didn't notice, I left it on purpose. And then just drag it in this C shape here. I love that whole this bone getting highlighted, and just drag it a little downwards, and you can smile and put it on the apple of the cheek as well. Then I'm going to apply a little bit on the tip of my nose, little bit on the bridge. Yeah, for that glow. A little bit on the chin. I don't need anything on the cupid's bow because I already have the gloss. A little bit on the chin, and of course on the other cheek. And last but not the least, you need to make sure all of this makeup, and there's a lot of layers on your skin, right, needs to come together as one entity. You know, when you're going out, it's very important to have a good setting spray to finish off the entire look and make sure that your makeup stays in place all night long as you're enjoying your wedding festivities. I'm using the Colorbar Stay the Day Finishing Mist on my face. I'm going to give myself a nice shower, and then I'm going to be done. Guys, I just neatened up my hair a little bit, tied them in a low bun, and took my dupatta of this suit. This is a suit by this brand called Imara. They gave it to me last year for Diwali, and I really like how it's very subtle, yet you can just, you know, glam it up. And I'm just gonna add something I've never done before, a mang tika. Yeah, I know, we're going all out today. So I'm just gonna add this mang tika. Okay, so we've decided to also add jhumkas, because why not? So yes, I'm adding these really pretty jhumkas. They're different, like, I mean, they're separate from the mang tika, but I think they go pretty well with the mang tika. Alright guys, so this is the final look with the churiyan, the jhumka, the mang tika, dupatta, suit, full on. Like, this is like a full glam Indian look, and I'm absolutely loving it. As I said before, you can change things up, the colors, the lipstick, the blush, just to, you know, match other outfits that you're wearing. But I think this is something which is evergreen, never going out of style. And thank you so much for watching. I did try and give as many details as possible about this look, because I want my content to be more specific, beauty related, and more detailed, so that you guys have a proper idea of how to get the looks that I want you to sort of learn with me. So yeah, definitely leave your feedback down below as to how you like this look. If you want me to do any other kinds of Indian looks, bridal looks, whatever, let me know in the comment section below. I'll be happy to do that. And let me also know how you're liking the longer format of videos. Since the last two videos, we've sort of tried to do longer format, more detailed, in-depth beauty stuff. So let me know how you feel about that as well. Of course, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell icon. You will never ever get notified about my videos if you don't do that. So please do that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.